Remember fighting your cousins for the last bacon-wrapped water chestnut at Grandma's Christmas table? Or watching that pineapple cheese ball disappear before dinner even started? In 1952, Betty Crocker published 47 Christmas party appetizers. By 1985, 31 of them showed up at every holiday gathering in America. Today, we make 3.
Watch out, kids coming through.
Is that the last cheese ball?
Get your hands off it, Billy.
These 30 vanished, not because they weren't delicious, but because the women who made them are gone. We found them in a 1950s cookbook most families forgot existed. Tonight, we're bringing all 30 back with the original measurements, the actual techniques your grandmother used, and the stories behind why each one ruled every Christmas party from 1955 to 1985. The pineapple cheese ball became star of every 1950s Christmas buffet, feeding dozens for just a few dollars. When canned pineapple finally returned to stores after wartime rationing, Betty Crocker's 1956 picture. Cookbook page 87 featured the definitive version you needed. 8 ounces cream cheese, 1 small can, crushed pineapple, well-drained ½ cup, chopped pecans, ¼ cup, diced green, bell pepper, and pinch onion salt. Mix everything, roll into ball coat with nuts. What made the pineapple cheese ball particularly valuable was you could make it completely the day before leaving hostess-free on party day. Sweet pineapple with savory cheese tasted exotic to people whose palates had been shaped by years of simple survival. Food keeps refrigerated 5 days or frozen longer. Deviled ham pinwheels transformed sandwich ingredients into elegant spirals, feeding large groups inexpensively using canned deviled ham, a shelf-stable protein that didn't require refrigeration. Betty Crocker's Good and Easy Cookbook, 1954, promised 20 perfect pinwheels in 15 minutes. You needed fresh white bread, crusts removed 1 can, Underwood deviled ham, 4 ounces, softened cream cheese, 2 tablespoons, sweet pickle relish. Roll bread flat, spread ham mixture, roll tight. Wrap refrigerate slice into spirals. You could make 60 pieces, feeding 20-30 people for under $5. Tomato aspic with shrimp stood as queen of molded appetizers, serving 12 people for about $4. This shimmering red gelatin creation transformed humble tomato juice into restaurant-quality presentation. Betty Crocker's picture. Cookbook, 1950, featured tomato shrimp version you needed 2 cups tomato juice, 2 packets, unflavored gelatin, 2 tablespoons, lemon juice, 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, ½ teaspoon celery, salt, 1 cup cooked shrimp. Dissolve gelatin, pour into decorative molds with shrimp. Throughout refrigerate 4 to 6 hours until firm unmold onto lettuce. Successful unmolding without collapse separated accomplished hostesses from amateurs, keeps refrigerated up to 3 days. Bacon-wrapped water chestnuts became ultimate crowd pleaser, feeding 20 to 25 people for about $6, combining bacon, finally, plentiful after rationing with exotic canned water chestnuts. Betty Crocker's New Picture Cookbook, 1961, called these essential. You needed 1 pound bacon, cut into thirds, 1 can whole water chestnuts, ½ cup brown, sugar, ¼ cup, soy sauce, wrap. Each water chestnut in bacon, secure with toothpicks, brush with brown sugar. Soy mixture, bake at 375 degrees for 20-25 minutes. The Culinary Institute's 1959 survey identified this as most served hot appetizer nationwide. Cheese straws represented Southern elegance, transplanted nationwide, serving 40-50 pieces for less than $2. These delicate, crispy pastries signaled commitment to gracious entertaining. Betty Crocker's Cookbook for Boys and Girls, 1957, featured adapted recipe mothers used to teach daughters. You needed 2 cups, grated sharp cheddar, ½ cup softened butter, 1 1/4 cups flour, ½ teaspoon cayenne, ½ teaspoon salt, mix into dough, Roll, thin cut into 4-inch strips. Bake at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes until golden. Stored in airtight tins. Keep up to 2 weeks. We're only 5 recipes in, and already you can feel it, can't you? That ache for Grandma's kitchen. Those flavors you never got to taste. We're racing against time right now. The last women who made these appetizers are in their 80s and 90s. When they're gone, these recipes die. We've got 25 more forgotten appetizers to bring back. Let's keep Grandma's legacy alive. Rumaki burst onto American scene, feeding 25 people for about $5. This Polynesian creation combined chicken livers with water chestnuts wrapped in bacon. Betty Crocker's Dinner for Two. Cookbook, 1958, featured Rumaki. You needed half-pound chicken livers cut into pieces. 1 can water chestnuts halved, 1 pound bacon cut into thirds, ½ cup soy sauce, ¼ cup brown sugar, 1 teaspoon ginger marinate overnight. Wrap in bacon, broil 6 to 8 minutes. Be served immediately. Doesn't reheat well. Stuffed celery with Roquefort represented elegant simplicity, serving 30 pieces for about $3, transforming humble vegetable into sophisticated vehicle for bold flavors. Betty Crocker's Picture. Cookbook, 1956, featured Roquefort version you needed. 4 ounces, crumbled Roquefort, 8 ounces, cream cheese, 2 tablespoons, heavy cream, fresh celery stalks, cut into 3-inch sections, blend cheeses with cream, fill celery using spoon or pastry bag. What made Roquefort stuffed celery particularly prestigious was the cheese itself. Swedish meatballs achieved iconic status, feeding 40 people for about $8. These cream sauce-coated spheres bridged familiar American tastes and international flavors. Betty Crocker's International Cookbook, 1960. Noted these have become as American as they are. Swedish, you needed 1 pound ground beef, ½ pound ground pork, 1 cup breadcrumbs soaked in ½ cup milk, 1 minced onion, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon, allspice, ½ teaspoon, nutmeg, salt, pepper, mix form, small balls, brown, simmer in cream sauce made from pan, drippings, 2 cups, cream, bit of flour, small size, ideal for cocktail service. Shrimp cocktail in individual cups represented pinnacle of elegant entertaining, serving 12 people for about $10 when shrimp remained expensive. Luxury Betty Crocker's Hostess. Cookbook 1957 emphasized proper service, elevates this to restaurant elegance you needed. 2 pounds, large, cooked shrimp, 1 cup ketchup, 3 tablespoons, horseradish, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, shredded lettuce, lemon wedges, arrange shrimp in small glass cups on lettuce bed with sauce. Service must be served immediately or kept on ice. Olive cream. Cheese balls emerged as clever variation, feeding 30 people for about $3. These bite-sized spheres offered sophisticated flavor in pop-in-your-mouth format. Betty Crocker's Party Book, 1960, promised 60 perfect bites. You needed 16 ounces, cream cheese, 1 cup chopped green olives, 2 tablespoons olive brine, 2 tablespoons chopped pimento, 1 cup chopped nuts for coating, mix form, marble-sized balls, roll in nuts. What made olive cream cheese balls particularly successful was perfect balance of easy preparation and impressive presentation. 10 recipes down, and look how far we've come from pineapple cheese balls to olive cream cheese balls, from bacon-wrapped water chestnuts to Swedish meatballs. You've just learned 10 appetizers your grandmother made that almost disappeared forever, but we're only 1/3 done in the next 20 recipes. These are the ones that really vanished, the ones even fewer people remember. Ham salad in pastry cups represented perfect marriage of convenience and elegance, feeding 24 people for about $4. Betty Crocker's Leftovers. Cookbook 1961 featured this recipe as making the most of your Christmas ham investment. You needed 2 cups finely ground or chopped ham, ½ cup mayonnaise, ¼ cup sweet pickle relish, 1 tablespoon prepared mustard, ¼ cup finely diced celery for crunch, and 24 pastry shells. You'd mix all ham salad ingredients together and spoon into cups just before serving to maintain crispness. New Year's Eve parties and post-holiday gatherings regularly featured these filled pastry cups arranged on tiered servers or flat platters lined with paper doilies. The Methodist Women's Circle of Portland, Oregon, published Community Cookbook in 1959, including 5 variations on filled pastry cups. What made ham salad in pastry cups particularly valuable was solving dual challenge of avoiding food waste while maintaining entertaining standards. This preparation transformed obvious leftovers into something intentionally elegant. The individual serving format suited cocktail party service perfectly, while pastry cups added textural interest. Must be filled just before serving. Pastry becomes soggy. Cheese fondue represented height of continental entertaining, serving 8 to 10 people for about $6. This communal dish offered culinary adventure and social interaction. Betty Crocker's International Cookbook, 1960, introduced fondue. You needed 1 pound Gruyere grated, 1 pound, Emmentaler grated, 2 cups, white wine, 1 clove garlic, 3 tablespoons cornstarch, ¼ cup, kirsch, cubed, French bread, rub pot with garlic heat, wine, add cheese, stir in cornstarch, and kirsch, keep warm. Guests dip bread. What made cheese fondue particularly appealing was embodiment of European sophistication. Communal eating style seemed daringly informal, yet refined interactive nature created memorable experiences. Must be served immediately. Doesn't keep or reheat. This communal dish became cocktail party sensation during late 1950s, bringing Swiss Alpine traditions to American living rooms with dramatic flair. The dish gained explosive popularity after 1959. Holiday magazine feature on European entertaining trends, with fondue pot sales increasing 400%. Sardine canapés represented bold flavor choices, feeding 24 people for about $2, bringing European café culture to American parties. These elegant little bites signaled hostesses' confidence in serving assertive, distinctive flavors. Betty Crocker's Picture Cookbook, 1956, featured these in For Discriminating Guests section. You needed 2 cans, sardines, 4 ounces, cream cheese, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, 1 tablespoon minced onion, 24 toast, rounds capers or pimento mash, sardines drained blend with softened cream, cheese, lemon juice, and finely minced onion spread on toast, rounds or crackers, garnished decoratively with capers or pimento strips. The preparation gained prominence through 1957 Gourmet magazine article on sophisticated appetizers, positioning sardines as mark of refined taste rather than budget ingredient. Holiday cocktail parties, among more cosmopolitan social circles, featured sardine canapés, alongside milder options, allowing guests to self-select. Based on adventurousness, the preparation became associated with intellectual and artistic communities. The New York Times 1959 Holiday Entertaining Guide included sardine canapés among recommended offerings for guests with cultivated palates. Cocktail wieners became ultimate crowd pleaser, feeding 30-40 people for about $4. These miniature sausages achieved such popularity, their absence would disappoint guests expecting this beloved standard. Betty Crocker's Outdoor Cookbook, 1959, featured little smokies in zesty sauce. You needed 2 pounds cocktail sausages, 1 cup ketchup, ½ cup brown sugar, ¼ cup vinegar, 2 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce. Heat together. Keep warm in chafing dish with toothpicks. The recipe's simplicity belied enormous popularity with Betty Crocker's Consumer Response Department, reporting it as one of their most requested appetizer recipes throughout late 1950s. Christmas open houses across America featured chafing dishes of cocktail wieners as reliable hot option that pleased everyone from children to elderly relatives. The preparation became go-to choice for hostesses seeking guaranteed success without culinary risk, as sweet tangy sauce appealed universally to American palates. The PTA Holiday Social in Levittown, Pennsylvania, served over 1,000 cocktail wieners at their 1960 Christmas event, with recipe becoming community standard for subsequent years. Crab-stuffed mushrooms represented luxurious entertaining, feeding 24 people for about $12. These sophisticated morsels signaled culinary ambition and generous hospitality. These sophisticated morsels became essential components of upscale holiday parties, combining two premium ingredients into elegant bites. Betty Crocker's Seafood Cookbook 1960 described when only finest will do you needed 24 large mushroom caps, 8 ounces crab meat, half cup breadcrumbs, quarter cup mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1 tablespoon parsley, salt, pepper. You needed 24 large white mushroom caps, stems removed, 8 ounces fresh or canned crab meat picked over for shells, half cup breadcrumbs, quarter cup mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1 tablespoon chopped fresh parsley, salt and pepper. Mix, stuff, caps, bake at 375 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes until golden and bubbly. The recipe gained prominence through 1958. House Beautiful magazine, spread on elegant, entertaining Christmas Eve cocktail parties in affluent communities, regularly featured crab-stuffed mushrooms as premium offering, often served on silver trays with garnishes. The preparation became status symbol as both crab meat and large mushrooms represented significant expense. The Garden Club of Greenwich, Connecticut served at their 1959 holiday gala. We've reached the halfway point. 15 recipes down, 15 to go. Learning appetizers by watching is easy. 15 more recipes are waiting, and these next ones, they're the rarest, the most forgotten, the most precious. Let's finish what we started. Pâté. Liverwurst pâté transformed humble deli meat into French-inspired elegance, feeding 20-25 people for about $3, demonstrating 1950s hostesses' ability to create impressive presentations from accessible ingredients. This clever preparation bridged gap between aspirational continental cuisine and practical American grocery shopping, making refined entertaining possible for middle-class households. Betty Crocker's Budget Cookbook, 1957, featured this recipe as elegant entertaining without elegant prices. You needed 1 pound liverwurst, 8 ounces, softened cream cheese, 2 tablespoons finely minced onion, 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, and 2 tablespoons brandy. If budget allowed, you'd blend everything, smooth mold into attractive shapes, chill and serve with crackers. The recipe gained popularity through word-of-mouth sharing at homemakers' clubs and church groups, with women appreciating how it created impressive results from inexpensive ingredients. Holiday gatherings throughout suburban America featured liverwurst pâté molded into festive shapes, logs rolled in chopped parsley rounds decorated with olive slices, or packed into decorative crocks positioned prominently on appetizer tables. The preparation allowed complete advance work, with pâté improving in flavor over a day or two of refrigeration. Pickled shrimp brought southern coastal traditions to mainstream America, feeding 15-20 people for about $8. Shrimp, 1 cup, white vinegar, half cup oil, 2 sliced onions, 4 bay leaves, 2 tablespoons, pickling spices, 1 tablespoon sugar, salt, cook shrimp, marinate overnight with onions and spices. You'd cook shrimp in seasoned water, then marinate overnight in vinegar mixture with onions and spices, creating tender, flavorful shrimp that could be prepared days in advance. The dish gained national attention through 1958. Southern Living magazine feature on coastal entertaining traditions, sparking interest beyond regional origins. Junior League of Mobile sold over 10,000 cookbooks, spreading recipe nationally. Cheese soufflé puffs represented culinary ambition at its peak, feeding 24 people for about $5. These delicate, airy puffs became ultimate show-off appetizer, impressing guests with ethereal texture and sophisticated presentation, transforming simple ingredients into elegant bite. Betty Crocker's French Cooking Cookbook 1960 featured miniature cheese soufflés with detailed instructions for achieving perfect rise that announces your mastery of classic technique you needed. 3 tablespoons butter, 3 tablespoons flour, 1 cup milk, 4 egg yolks, 1 cup grated, Gruyere cheese, 5 egg whites, beaten stiff salt pepper and pinch cayenne. You'd make thick white sauce, mix in egg yolks and cheese, fold in beaten egg whites, carefully pipe or spoon mixture into small buttered molds, and bake at 375 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes until puffed and golden. The recipe required precise timing and technique, making successful execution genuine accomplishment that separated skilled cooks from novices. Cordon bleu. Cooking School's American Outposts taught this technique in their 1959 holiday entertaining workshops, with graduates proudly serving their miniature soufflés at subsequent gatherings. Holiday cocktail parties among culinary ambitious hostesses featured these puffs, served immediately from oven with guests summoned to appreciate them. At peak of puffy perfection, the dramatic presentation, bringing trays of perfectly risen puffs from kitchen to guests, created memorable moments that elevated entire party experience. What made cheese soufflé puffs particularly prestigious was association with French haute cuisine and technical skill required for success. Serving soufflés of any kind demonstrated culinary confidence and serious cooking ability, marking hostess as someone who had moved beyond basic entertaining into advanced techniques. Salami cornucopias transformed simple deli meat into elegant sculptural appetizers, feeding 24 people for about $4. These attractive bites became popular for their impressive appearance, despite relatively simple preparation, perfect for hostesses seeking maximum visual impact, with minimal effort, demonstrating 1950s emphasis on creative food arrangement and artistic presentation. Betty Crocker's Party Cookbook 1959 featured salami cornucopias with detailed diagrams showing proper folding technique to create the cone shape you needed. 24 thin slices, salami, 8 ounces, softened cream cheese, 2 tablespoons milk, 1 tablespoon prepared horseradish, and 2 tablespoons chopped fresh chives or parsley. You'd roll each salami slice into cornucopia, form secure with toothpick. Mix cream cheese with milk and seasonings until smooth and pipe into cones. The presentation gained popularity through women's magazine features on attractive appetizer arrangements, with photographs showing elaborate platters of colorful cornucopias. Catholic Women's League of Boston published Community Cookbook in 1960, including 5 different cornucopia recipes, with salami version noted as always impressive, surprisingly simple Christmas buffet. Tables showcased salami cornucopias, arranged in circular patterns or lined up in rows, often alternating with other rolled or folded appetizers to create visual variety. The preparation became favorite for homemakers' club demonstrations, where women learned folding technique and shared filling variations. Oysters Rockefeller canapés brought legendary restaurant elegance to home, entertaining feeding 24 people for about $15. These luxurious bites represented pinnacle of sophisticated appetizers, combining premium ingredients with complex preparation to create impressive results that announced hostesses' culinary ambition and willingness to provide exceptional experiences for guests. Betty Crocker's Deluxe Hostess Cookbook, 1961, featured simplified home version describing bringing Antoine's restaurant to your living room. You needed 24 toast rounds or crackers, 1 pint fresh oysters cooked and chopped, 1 package frozen chopped spinach cooked and squeezed dry, 4 tablespoons butter, 1/4 cup breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons Pernod or anise liqueur, salt, and pepper. You'd top toast with oyster spinach mixture, sprinkle breadcrumbs, and briefly broil until hot and slightly crispy. The recipe gained attention through 1959 Gourmet magazine article on adapting restaurant classics for home entertaining, showing how famous dishes could be recreated in home kitchens. Holiday cocktail parties in cosmopolitan social circles featured these canapés as ultimate luxury offering, with hostesses proudly announcing their homemade version of famous dish. The preparation required significant effort and expense, making it clear demonstration of commitment to providing exceptional experiences. The Women's Club of New Orleans published authentic home version in their 1958 community cookbook, sparking debates about proper preparation techniques that spread through entertaining circles nationwide. What made Oysters Rockefeller, 20 recipes down, 10 to go. You've come so far learning appetizers that were almost lost forever, and now you're in the home stretch, the final 10 recipes away. These final ones are just as precious, just as endangered, just as worth saving. Cream cheese and olive pinwheels offered tangy, savory alternative feeding 40-50 people for about $3. These colorful rolls became church social staples to sweeter spreads, creating elegant spirals that looked professionally made. Despite simple technique, beloved for their make-ahead convenience and reliable crowd appeal, bringing sophisticated flavor to buffet tables across suburban America. Betty Crocker's sandwich book, 1958, called This Hostess's Secret Weapon You Needed: 8 ounces cream cheese, 1/2 cup chopped green olives, 2 tablespoons chopped pimento, 8 slices, white bread crusts removed, mix cream cheese with olives and pimentos, spread on bread, roll tight wrap. Chill slice into spirals. You'd mix cream cheese with olives and pimentos, spread on bread, roll each slice tight wrap in wax paper. Chill, then slice into perfect spirals. The recipe gained widespread popularity through homemakers' club demonstrations and church cookbook exchanges, becoming standard in repertoire of reliable party foods that women shared at recipe swaps and community gatherings. Lutheran Ladies, Aid of Milwaukee, sold over 2,000 at 1959. Christmas market holiday open houses and afternoon teas featured trays of these pinwheels, arranged in attractive patterns. Miniature quiche. Lorraine brought French bistro sophistication to American parties, feeding 24 people for about $7. These savory pastries represented height of continental entertaining, transforming classic large tart into bite-sized elegance, perfect for standing reception service. These savory pastries became essential components of sophisticated holiday gatherings, showing how French culinary traditions could be adapted for American entertaining styles. Betty Crocker's French Country Cookbook, 1960, described Parisian elegance in party-perfect portions. You needed 24 small tart shells, 6 strips, bacon cooked and crumbled, 1 cup grated, Swiss cheese, 3 eggs, 1 cup heavy cream, salt, pepper, pinch, nutmeg, line pans with pastry fill with bacon and cheese, pour egg cream mixture bake at 375 Celsius for 18 to 20 minutes. You'd line small tart pans or muffin tins with pastry dough, either store-bought or homemade. Fill them with mixture of crispy bacon crumbles and grated Swiss cheese, then pour custard made from eggs and heavy cream, seasoned with salt, pepper, and hint of nutmeg bake, until golden and set, creating individual portions that could be served warm or at room temperature. Julia Child's 1959 TV demo sparked explosive popularity. The dish gained explosive popularity following Julia Child's television demonstrations, introducing mainstream American audiences to French cooking techniques that seemed accessible yet sophisticated. Holiday cocktail parties during early 1960s increasingly featured miniature quiches as evidence of hostesses' refined tastes and culinary knowledge. The preparation required more advanced skills than many appetizers, including pastry making and proper custard technique, making successful execution genuine accomplishment that separated accomplished cooks from beginners. The Alliance Française chapters across America. Anchovy. Toast Points represented bold, assertive flavors, feeding 24 people for about $3, bringing Mediterranean flavors to American cocktail parties, signaling hostesses' confidence in serving challenging ingredients that demonstrated worldly sophistication and cultural refinement. These elegant little bites brought European cafe culture to American entertaining, showing willingness to move beyond safe, universally appealing choices. Betty Crocker's International Appetizer Collection 1961 featured with caveat for guests with cultivated tastes. You needed 24 toast triangles, 2 cans, anchovies, 2 hard-boiled eggs, sliced, 2 tablespoons capers, lemon wedges, top toast with anchovies arranged decoratively, add egg capers or lemon. You'd top crisp toast triangles with anchovy fillets arranged in decorative patterns, sometimes creating crosshatch designs or spoke arrangements, then garnish with thin slices of hard-boiled egg, tiny capers, or thin lemon slices. For both visual appeal and complementary flavors, the presentation emphasized attractive arrangement with toast points fanned on platters or arranged in geometric patterns that showcased the anchovy garnishes, creating visual interest that elevated simple ingredients into sophisticated presentation. The preparation gained prominence through 1957 Gourmet magazine article on sophisticated appetizers, positioning anchovies as mark of refined taste rather than budget ingredient, helping to transform perception of this preserved fish from economical pantry staple into symbol of culinary sophistication. Faculty Wives Club at Columbia University featured at 1960 holiday reception, holiday cocktail parties among more cosmopolitan social circles. Chicken, liver pâté represented accessible luxury feeding. 20 to 25 people for about $4. This smooth, rich spread became staple of sophisticated entertaining, demonstrating hostesses' ability to create restaurant-quality results in her own kitchen, bringing French culinary elegance to American tables through relatively affordable ingredients prepared with refined technique. This clever preparation showed how continental sophistication could be achieved without breaking the budget, making refined entertaining possible for growing suburban middle class. Betty Crocker's Gourmet Cookbook 1959 featured instructions for silky texture. You needed 1 pound chicken livers, 1 stick butter, 1 small onion chopped 4 ounces, cream cheese, 2 tablespoons, brandy, ½ teaspoon thyme, salt, pepper, sauté, livers with onions, blend smooth with cream cheese, brandy and spices mold into crocks. You'd sauté chicken livers with finely chopped onions in butter until just cooked through. Then blend everything smooth with softened cream cheese brandy and aromatic spices sauces like thyme, creating silky texture that rivaled expensive restaurant versions, then mold the mixture into decorative crocks or logs for elegant presentation that impressed guests. The preparation gained popularity through cooking school demonstrations and women's magazine features on continental cuisine, with American hostesses embracing this affordable path to sophisticated entertaining that allowed them to serve French-inspired dishes. Culinary Arts Society of San Francisco served over 500 portions at 1960 showcase holiday gatherings, increasingly featured chicken liver pâté as evidence of culinary ambition and French-inspired refinement, showing commitment to elevated entertaining standards. The preparation allowed complete advance work, with pâté actually improving in flavor over several days of refrigeration, solving hostesses' challenge of party day time management and reducing stress, serving over 500 portions and inspiring home cooks throughout Bay Area to attempt their own versions, bringing restaurant techniques into home kitchens. Glazed cocktail sausages achieved legendary status as ultimate party pleaser, feeding 40-50 people for about $5. These glossy bites became so ubiquitous their absence would disappoint guests. These glossy, caramelized bites became so ubiquitous at holiday parties that their presence was expected with their absence, disappointing guests anticipating this beloved standard that had become synonymous with festive gatherings. Betty Crocker's Easy Entertaining Cookbook, 1959, featured grape jelly and mustard pairing. You needed 2 pounds cocktail sausages, 1 cup grape jelly, ½ cup yellow mustard heat together until caramelized. Keep warm in chafing dish with toothpicks. You'd heat cocktail-sized smoked sausages in mixture of grape jelly and prepared yellow mustard, creating unlikely but delicious sweet tangy glaze that caramelized beautifully. Then keep warm in chafing dish over sterno with toothpicks for easy serving. The recipe's simplicity belied its enormous popularity, with Betty Crocker's Consumer Response Department reporting it as one of their most requested appetizer recipes throughout late 1950s, showing how simple preparations could achieve widespread acclaim, gained viral popularity through Tupperware parties and homemakers clubs. PTA Christmas Social in Dayton, Ohio, served over 1,000 at 1960 event. Christmas open houses across America featured chafing dishes of glazed sausages as reliable hot option that pleased everyone from children to elderly relatives, bridging generational taste preferences. The preparation became go-to choice for hostesses seeking guaranteed success without culinary risk, as sweet tangy sauce appealed universally to American palates that favored bold, sweet-savory combinations, becoming community standard. For subsequent years, the miniature size transformed ordinary hot dogs into party-appropriate finger food, while warm, saucy presentation provided comfort during cold weather gatherings. The extreme ease of preparation meant even novice hostesses could execute this recipe flawlessly. Democratizing successful entertaining and proving impressive results didn't require complex techniques or expensive ingredients. The keep warm serving solved logistical challenges of maintaining hot appetizers throughout long parties. What made glazed cocktail sausages particularly successful was perfect embodiment of American taste. Preferences' 2-ingredient glaze seemed too simple, yet result consistently delighted, keeps warm in chafing dish. 2 to 3 hours, reheats beautifully. 25 recipes down, only 5 left. You're almost there. You've spent over an hour learning appetizers your grandmother made. You've traveled through 1950s America. You've connected with a generation that's disappearing, and now you're 5 recipes away from completing the entire collection. Stuffed cherry tomatoes brought fresh, colorful elegance, feeding 24 people for about $4. These bite-sized vegetables became popular as year-round produce availability increased, offering lighter option among richer offerings, while providing attractive visual contrast that enhanced buffet table presentations, making them essential components of well-rounded appetizers spreads. Betty Crocker's Salad Book, 1958. Called these jewels. For your party table, you needed 24 cherry tomatoes, 8 ounces, cream cheese, 2 tablespoons, milk, 2 tablespoons, fresh herbs, salt, pepper, hollow. Out tomatoes, salt lightly, invert to drain. Fill with cream cheese, mixture using spoon or pastry. Bagued carefully, hollow out cherry tomatoes using small spoon or melon baller. Removing seeds and inner flesh, then salt them lightly and invert onto paper towels to drain excess moisture, preventing soggy filling. Then prepare cream cheese mixture by blending softened cream cheese with milk until smooth and pipeable, adding finely chopped fresh herbs like chives, parsley, or dill, along with salt and pepper to taste, creating flavorful filling that complemented fresh tomato taste. Then fill drained tomatoes using small spoon for rustic look or pastry bag fitted with star tip for more elegant presentation, creating professional appearance. The recipe gained attention through 1959. Better Homes and Gardens feature on attractive appetizer arrangements with photographs showing colorful platters that inspired imitation across suburban America. Garden Club of Palm Beach featured at 1960 Christmas luncheon holiday buffet tables showcased stuffed cherry tomatoes arranged in spoke patterns radiating from center of round platters or grouped by filling color on rectangular serving dishes, creating visual interest through their bright red exteriors and varied fillings that added pops of color to otherwise monochromatic spreads. The preparation became popular for its fresh light quality that balanced heavier cream-based and fried appetizers, while individual serving formats suited cocktail party service perfectly, allowing guests to enjoy fresh vegetable option without utensils, with recipe spreading through Florida's entertaining circles and northward as hostesses sought fresh, colorful options that provided contrast to traditional holiday fare. The versatile filling options allowed customization based on preferences and dietary needs, with some hostesses offering multiple varieties on same platter, creating choice and visual variety that appealed to diverse guest preferences, representing beginning of America's movement toward lighter, fresher, entertaining options that would accelerate in subsequent decades as health consciousness grew. What made stuffed cherry tomatoes particularly valuable was fresh, healthy image when American cuisine was becoming increasingly processed. Bright color enhanced buffet presentations. Light taste offered palate-cleansing contrast must be filled within 4 to 6 hours. Tomatoes release water. Cheese straws with pecans, elevated classic Southern specialty feeding 40-50 pieces for about $3. These delicate pastries became essential in regions where pecans grew abundantly. These delicate crispy pastries became essential components of holiday entertaining, particularly in regions where pecans grew abundantly, and Southern culinary traditions influenced local food culture, bringing refined entertaining traditions from plantation, drawing rooms to mid-century cocktail parties. Nationwide, Betty Crocker's Holiday Cookbook 1960 featured Southern hospitality with extra crunch. You needed 2 cups grated sharp cheddar, ½ cup butter, 1 1/4 cups, flour ½ teaspoon, cayenne ½ teaspoon, salt 3/4 cup, finely chopped pecans, mix dough with pecans throughout roll. Thin, cut into strips, bake at 350 degrees for 10-12 minutes. You'd combine grated sharp cheddar cheese with softened butter flour, cayenne pepper salt, and finely chopped pecans mixed throughout the dough, creating additional texture and nutty flavor complexity that elevated the classic recipe. Then roll the dough thin on lightly floured surface, cut into elegant 4-inch strips using sharp knife or pastry wheel for decorative edges, and bake at 350°C face for 10 to 12 minutes until golden and crisp. Curried chicken salad in pastry shells represented exotic sophistication, feeding 24 people for about $6, demonstrating culinary adventurousness while maintaining familiarity. These elegant little bites demonstrated hostess's culinary adventurousness while maintaining enough familiarity to appeal to cautious American palates that were just beginning to explore international flavors, bringing exotic sophistication to suburban entertaining through careful balance of bold and comfortable tastes. Betty Crocker's around the world. Cookbook 1961 described bringing mystery of Orient to your party table. You needed 2 cups diced cooked chicken, ½ cup mayonnaise, ¼ cup chopped celery, 2 tablespoons raisins or chutney, 1 to 2 teaspoons curry powder, salt, pepper, 24 pastry shells, mix, fill. Just before serving, you'd combine diced cooked chicken with mayonnaise, finely chopped celery for crunch, sweet raisins or prepared chutney for complexity, and carefully measured curry powder, adjusted to taste, creating filling that introduced Asian spices without overwhelming guests, unaccustomed to bold flavors. Then spoon mixture into store-bought or homemade pastry shells just before serving to maintain crispness. Despite relatively simple preparation, transforming everyday ingredient into something special through creative seasoning and attractive serving vessel, the recipe represented America's growing interest in international cuisines while maintaining safety of familiar base ingredients that reassured cautious diners. Asparagus roll-ups transformed elegant vegetable into convenient finger food, feeding 24 people for about $5, offering fresh vegetable options in appetizer format. These delicate rolls became popular for spring and holiday, entertaining, offering fresh vegetable options in appetizer format that suited cocktail party service, while providing lighter alternative to heavier cream-based and fried appetizers that dominated many buffet tables. Betty Crocker's Vegetable Cookbook, 1959, featured garden-fresh elegance. You needed 24 fresh asparagus spears or 2 cans drained 8 slices, white bread crusts, removed 4 tablespoons, butter, 4 ounces cream cheese. If desired, trim asparagus, wrap in bread, spread with butter, secure with toothpicks, serve fresh or briefly toast. You'd trim fresh asparagus spears to appropriate length, about 4 inches, or use canned asparagus. Drained well, then wrap each spear in crustless white bread that had been rolled flat with rolling pin and spread with softened butter and sometimes cream cheese for extra richness, secure with toothpicks, and either serve fresh for crisp texture or briefly toast under broiler for warm, crispy versions that added different textural dimension. The recipe gained popularity through women's club demonstrations and church cookbook exchanges, becoming standard in repertoire of elegant vegetable preparations that showed how fresh produce could be transformed into sophisticated party fare. Garden Club of Charleston included in 1960 spring luncheon menu. Holiday buffet tables and afternoon tea parties featured these rolls arranged on platters, often garnished with lemon wedges or fresh herbs for additional visual appeal, creating attractive presentations that celebrated fresh ingredients. The preparation became popular for its fresh light quality and attractive presentation that suggested refined taste and appreciation for quality ingredients, moving beyond heavy, rich foods that had dominated earlier. entertaining with recipe spreading through garden club networks nationwide as members sought elegant ways to showcase fresh vegetables in formats suitable for standing reception service. The recipe represented era's emphasis on attractive food presentation and creative adaptation of ingredients into forms suitable for casual standing reception service that characterized mid-century entertaining styles. The familiar bread wrapping made preparation accessible and non-threatening to guests who might be intimidated by unfamiliar presentations, while the asparagus provided sophisticated element that elevated simple concept. The preparation required minimal cooking skills, just basic trimming and rolling, making it accessible to hostesses of all abilities, while still looking impressive and elegant. The timing was crucial as rolls needed to be assembled close to serving time to prevent bread from becoming soggy from vegetable moisture, requiring careful planning and last-minute assembly that added slight challenge to otherwise simple preparation. The versatility of serving either fresh for maximum crispness or briefly toasted for warm alternative gave hostesses options based on menu needs and personal preferences, allowing customization while maintaining elegant presentation. The recipe bridged gap between vegetable side dish and appetizer, creating new category that would influence future entertaining trends as Americans increasingly sought lighter, fresher options. What made asparagus roll-ups particularly appealing was transformation of vegetables into party-appropriate finger food. Elegant appearance suggested refined taste must be assembled within 2 to 3 hours. Bread becomes soggy. The cheese ball with dried beef coating represented ultimate evolution of cheese ball. Concept feeding 30-40 people for about $4. This variation became signature appetizer, appearing at virtually every holiday gathering. Becoming signature appetizer of late 1950s and early 1960s, appearing at virtually every holiday, gathering as expected, centerpiece of appetizer spreads that guests looked forward to seeing year after year, creating tradition and continuity in holiday entertaining Betty Crocker's party. Book 1961 called this cheese ball that conquered America. You needed 16 ounces, cream, cheese, 2 cups, grated sharp cheddar, 2 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 cup finely chopped dried beef. Mix cheeses with Worcestershire and garlic form into ball roll in dried beef, creating dramatic dark coating. You'd mix softened cream cheese with grated sharp cheddar cheese. Worcestershire sauce and garlic powder blending until smooth and well combined, then form mixture into perfect sphere shape using your hands or by wrapping in plastic wrap and shaping through the wrap for cleaner results. Then roll the ball in finely chopped dried beef to create dramatic dark coating that covered entire surface, providing striking visual contrast against creamy interior. The recipe achieved such popularity it became synonymous with holiday entertaining, with many hostesses considering their party incomplete without this specific cheese ball variation that had become traditional expected element, appeared in countless community cookbooks, church fundraising publications, handwritten recipe cards. Christmas cocktail parties across America featured dried beef cheese ball positioned prominently on silver platters surrounded by artistic arrangement of crackers and perhaps fresh vegetables or fruit, creating attractive presentation that drew guests to buffet table. The preparation became ritual, with families developing their own techniques for achieving perfect coating adhesion and sphere shape, some using special methods passed down through generations. The recipe appeared in countless community cookbooks, church fundraising publications, and handwritten recipe cards exchanged between friends, becoming one of most widely shared appetizer recipes of entire decade, spreading through social networks and recipe exchanges that connected communities. The dark coating created dramatic visual contrast that photographed photographed beautifully and looked professionally prepared, making it perfect for holiday photos that documented festive gatherings, while savory beef flavor complemented creamy cheese, perfectly creating taste combination that appealed universally to American palates. The recipe required no special equipment or advanced techniques, democratizing impressive entertaining for cooks of all skill levels, from beginners to experienced hostesses. Everyone could achieve successful results. The ability to prepare it entirely in advance eliminated party day stress, allowing hostesses to focus on other preparations, knowing this centerpiece was ready and waiting, proving some 1950s creations achieved such perfect balance of convenience, flavor, and presentation that they became permanent fixtures in American entertaining culture, transcending mid-century origins to remain beloved classics. Today continuing to appear at holiday gatherings decades later, what made dried beef cheese ball particularly iconic was perfect combination of impressive appearance, make-ahead convenience, and reliable crowd appeal. Dark coating created dramatic visual contrast, photographed beautifully. No special equipment required ability to prepare entirely in advance. Eliminated party day stress, keeps refrigerated up to 1 week. These 30 forgotten Christmas party appetizers from Betty Crocker's 1950s cookbooks aren't just recipes, they're edible time capsules, transporting us to era when America was learning to celebrate again after surviving depression and war. Each appetizer tells story about families who'd made it through impossible hardship and were finally able to gather friends, serve abundant food, and believe in future. These recipes represent more than just food. They're connections to our past, reminders of creativity, resourcefulness, and joy that defined entire generations' approach to hospitality and celebration during transformative period in American history. From pineapple cheese ball saying tropical ingredients are available again to dried beef, cheese ball honoring both Depression-era thrift and post-war abundance, these recipes bridge two worlds: the world of scarcity that taught Americans to waste nothing, and world of plenty that was finally arriving. They show us how church communities and women's groups became centers where recipes spread, where entertaining skills were taught, where families learned together. The deviled ham pinwheels that used shelf-stable canned goods, allowing families without reliable refrigeration to serve elegant food. The tomato aspic that transformed humble ingredients into restaurant-quality presentations, proving that beauty and elegance were still possible, even on tight budgets. These weren't just appetizers. They were declarations that hard times were ending, that life was getting better, that the future held promise and abundance. What makes these recipes powerful is they were created by people who knew both hunger and abundance, who understood value of every ingredient, because they remembered when there were none. Many of these appetizers deserve rediscovery, not just as nostalgic curiosities, but as genuinely delicious practical options that solve modern entertaining challenges. The make-ahead capabilities, finger food formats, and crowd-pleasing flavors remain relevant. Today, the women who created and shared these recipes understood something profound that we sometimes forget today, that food is more than sustenance. It's how we show love, build community, and mark important moments in our lives. The act of preparing beautiful food for others, even simple appetizers, demonstrates care and respect for guests, while the sharing of recipes builds bonds between women across generations and communities. These recipes traveled through church, cookbook exchanges, homemakers' club demonstrations, and handwritten cards passed between friends, creating networks of knowledge and support. If this journey through 1950s Christmas entertaining inspired you to try one of these forgotten appetizers, leave comment below sharing which recipe surprised you most, or which one you're planning to recreate. If you have memories of your grandmother or mother making any of these classic appetizers, please share those stories with our community. If you enjoyed exploring these mid-century culinary treasures, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into food. History. Share this video with anyone who loves food, history, retro cooking, or simply enjoys discovering culinary traditions that connected communities and created memories. Until next time. When you wrap bacon around water chestnuts, you're participating in tradition that brought families together around chafing dishes, creating warm memories during cold winter evenings. When you pipe cream cheese into salami cornucopias, you're using same techniques that women taught each other at church demonstrations, building skills and friendships. Simultaneously, these aren't just quaint old recipes, they're living history. Edible connections to people who came before us, who survived unimaginable hardship, yet never lost their capacity for celebration. Beauty and generosity. The women who created these appetizers understood something. We're still learning that entertaining doesn't require perfection or expense. It requires willingness to open your home, share what you have, and create space for people to gather and connect. They knew that the pineapple cheese ball, made day ahead, eliminated stress, allowing hostess to actually enjoy her own party, that the miniature quiches could be frozen and reheated, giving busy women flexibility. They knew that cocktail wieners in grape jelly sauce would please everyone from children to grandparents, creating inclusive celebrations where all felt welcome. They understood that food is language of love, and that even simplest appetizer prepared with care. So as you plan your next holiday gathering, consider adding one or two of these forgotten classics to your menu, not just for nostalgia, though that has value too, but because they work, because they're delicious, because they solve real entertaining challenges, and because making them connects you to rich tradition of American home cooking that deserves to be remembered, celebrated, and continued. Share these recipes with your daughters. Teach your sons that cooking is gift, not chore. Pass along stories of grandmothers and great-grandmothers who fed families and communities through hard times.